Uh, it's been a little while. I hope you forgive me. Life just kind of gets in the way every once in a while, and I kind of decided that I want to take off in a little bit of a slightly different direction for this channel. So if you'll notice that we have a new name. Instead of the model car review, now it's going to be the Sprue, which is going to, line up better with my website that has all of my model kit genealogy articles on it. So we're going to start off this kind of relaunch of the channel, and we're going to do a bit of a product review. It's a new product onto the market from Canuck 3D, and it's a conversion kit for the AMT 1966 Chevy Nova kits. So let's take a look at what we got going on. Alright, so come along and join with me as we take a look at this new shipment that I've got. I haven't opened this box yet, so you're going to get to follow along with me and see what it is that we got. So, like I said, this is from Canuck 3D, which you can see he has a .com and a .ca actually. So it's canuck3d.com or .ca. That'll both take you to the same website. So what we have here is his first in his line of conversion kits that will allow you to build some Canadian General Motors products that we had back in the 60s to start with. So these particular conversions are for the Acadian. Now you might ask yourself, what's an Acadian? Well, to start with, we'll go with why is an Acadian. So in pretty much from post-war up until 1967 or so, the Canadian automotive industry was a little protectionist, I guess you could say. There were some tariffs imposed on vehicles that were manufactured in the U.S., so in an effort to try and stimulate the Canadian auto industry, there were some restrictions placed on the manufacturers. So, and the dealership networks were split up such as, for GM is considered anyway, you would have a Chevrolet, Oldsmobile, Cadillac dealership, and then you would have a Pontiac, Buick, GMC dealership. And because we are such a large country with not a lot of people in it, you didn't necessarily have both in the same town. So you might have a Pontiac Buick GMC dealership in town, but if you wanted to have the new for 1962 compact car that came out, because Chevrolet brought out the Chevy 2 in 1962 because when Ford introduced the Falcon in 1960 as a competitor to the Chevy Corvair, they outsold the Corvair by quite a margin. So they quickly developed the Chevy 2 as a competitor, and because of the way Pontiacs were sold and designed in Canada, they weren't really Pontiacs. So it looked like a Pontiac, but the chassis and the cowl and the engines and drivetrain and everything like that was all Chevrolet. So the Tempest was never sold in Canada from the beginning. So the slant 4 torque tube rope drive thingamadoodle, that wasn't available in Canada. So the General Motors of Canada came back to General Motors, Big Ma General Motors and said, hey, we want to have something that we can sell at our dealerships that's the same thing as the Chevy 2. So that's how they came up with the Acadian, which kind of looked like this for 1962. And it was mostly a Chevy 2, but there was little design tweaks that were kind of reminiscent of Pontiacs. So you got the split grille and the tail lights and tail, like some trim was different and stuff like that. So by the 1966 model year, which is what these conversion kits are for, so we got a 66 and a 67. By this time, I'll show a picture here. The Invader was the equivalent of the Chevy 2 100, which was kind of like the entry-level trim, and gave you the sedan roof line in both the 2-door and the 4-door. And then the Canso, which is what these conversions are for, was the equivalent of the Chevy 2 Nova. So you got the Sport Coupe 2-door, and then you could also get it on a 4-door. And I think both the Invader and the Canso were available as wagons. So let's take a look at the 66 first, because that's what matches the kit. Let me take a look here. So these are all 3D printed conversions, and at the moment they are only shipping out of Canada. So Wild Parnell, which is the guy behind Canuck 3D, he's in the Edmonton area in Alberta, but he has a distribution agreement for the US where he sends a big bunch of parts to his US distributor, and then George sends them to customers that are buying from the US. But at the moment, he doesn't have any stock built up for these US side, so everything's shipping out of Canada. So if you are a US purchaser, you may find that the shipping is a little bit higher than you may have expected, and it's going to take a while. So I'm on the eastern coast of Canada, and Wild is in Alberta, and when he shipped these, it took, I think it was like a week and a half to get to me, and it went west to BC first and then came all the way east. I don't know why Canada Post does that, but that's kind of what they do. Whoops, we lost a tail light. So here we have our trim panel for the trunk deck lid, and we have some tail light bezels here. There's no clear parts in these oh wait, that's a lie. I see clear parts right here. So what are the difference between these that we've gotten? They look to be pretty much the same. Oh, I do remember Wild saying that there was a correction that he had to make to the taillight panel, and so it took a little bit longer to ship from when I ordered it. So that must be what this is. This was his original. Look, we got some printed headlight bezels, or headlight lenses, I guess. My mistake. I wonder what the difference is here. Oh, I see. The Acadian script is flipped from side to side on these. And then we got our taillight bezels. They all look to be the same from what I can tell upon cursory examination. So let's set those aside for the moment. And here we have our rear bumper. We got the reverse lights there. And for the license plate. And we have our front bumper. Turn signal lenses. Looks very nice. There's not a lot of print lines in here. A little quick scuff will take care of that. And the pièce de résistance is the grill. So we have our headlight buckets. Look pretty good. And take a look here. You can see, in an effort to make things cost even less, because this whole Acadian project was basically done on a budget, spending as little development money on these things as they could, the badge for the Acadian was just the letter A, and sometimes there were 3 maple leaves to go along with it. But the A is actually an upside down Pontiac arrowhead that they just kind of modified a little bit to turn it into an A. It looks like these have... here we go. Okay. So we have some mounting lugs on the grill and holes on the bumper. So that just slots right in. And the grill is... I can see through a little bit of it. I don't entirely know if it was intended to be completely molded open or not. But I tell you, the quality of these prints is far better than anything I can do as a, print once in a while kind of guy. And Wild has been doing this for quite a while. He has a lot of stuff available. Heavy on the GM side, but I think he might be branching out into other stuff. So like I had said, these are for the AMT 66 Nova, which so far there have been 9 versions of this reissued. So pretty much any of these. We're going to take a look today at this one here, which is the closest, mostly unmolested version that I had at hand. So let's see how these fit in here. Set that aside. So this kit should be pretty familiar. It's been around forever, it seems. And that just plops right in there. Look at that. Little bit of tweaking around the top where it meets the fender there, but that's probably just flash on my version. Stick the bumper on. There. Look at that. That looks great. I hope it comes out as good for you all as it does on my end. Let's take a look and see. Yeah, see, I've already started sanding the back here. Hopefully that won't make much of a difference. Yeah, that'll fit up pretty good. Just need to sand off some of this chicken skin from the supports, and that'll fit in there beautifully. And let's see how well. Yeah, so there's the lock cylinder, and then there's the clearance under this panel to be able to fit that, and chicken skin on the back, so I haven't sanded that down because I just opened it. But can kind of, whoops, set that on there. And let's see, grab tail light. Oops. And stick another tail light there. Stick our little tail panel on. Oh, I don't know if that's going to stay for what I'm trying to do. Probably not. Come on, you. Cooperate for the people at home that want to see this. Steady. Steady. Slowly but fastly but slowly. Okay, now gently hold your tongue out. No, I don't think this is gonna work. Nope. Okay, abort. Retry. Fail. Okay, so now let's take a look and hopefully not mix these two together. Take a look and see how the 67 works. So the eagle-eyed viewer following along at home will notice that there is no 67 Nova kit available. So the differences between a 66 and a 67 Nova are hopefully negligible enough at scale that this will work. Okay. All right. So you see here for the 67 that for this trim panel we have just one section and the Acadian is centered, whereas for the 66 you have the two little segments on either side of the lock cylinder, and then the Acadian is off to one side. I don't know which side is correct, but you got both options. So there's that. The tail lights, headlight bezels look to be the same, and the rear bumper looks to be the same as well. Yep. Front bumper is different because the turn signals have moved. So we have our 66 grille here on top, 67 on bottom. Turn signals were moved into the grille out of the bumper. So this is the bumper for the 67. And let's take a look here. Oh yeah, that fits in there pretty good. I like it. Oh yeah, this one's even more see-through than the 66 was. Whoops. With some gentle sanding, I think you could probably make that completely see-through. Now, I wonder, do I have... Please stand by. Oh. Well, I have the hood cut out for the scoop, but should work for these purposes. Now the emblem on the hood is different between the Chevrolet and the Acadian, so you have to sand that off. And also there's different badges, so there was no Super Sport Acadian, there was a Super Deluxe Acadian, which is the equivalent package in Canada, and then the 327. You could get the 327, so you could leave that one. Super Sport has got to change. The Acadians also had some vents right around here, and for the 66, the Canso was back here on the quarter panel, and then it moved up onto the front fender for the 67. I don't know if... I don't think photo etch Acadian badges are available anywhere at this juncture. Some enterprising person may come up with that at some point. Okay. This looks awful mean. Get ourselves a Pro Street Acadian Canso. Yeah, look at that. I'm getting all kinds of ideas. Alright, so these are the first ones that have come out. Currently in development is... Actually, no, sorry. Not in development. I actually have purchased them and they're on the way. But he's also done conversions for the 65 and 66 Chevelles. So the 65 is the Revell 65 Chevelle Z16 kit. And then the 66 is for the originally Lindbergh, now AMT 66 Chevelle. For when they first came out with the Acadians in 62, the top trim level was the Acadian Beaumont and the Canso was the lower trim. But when Chevrolet came out with the Chevelle in 1964, we got the Acadian version of it. So the Chevelle version became the Acadian Beaumont, and then in 64 the Canso and the Invader were the Chevy 2 based cars. So when those come in, I will do another video showing how they fit on the aforementioned kits. If I can find them, I may also try and see how well they fit on the AMT 65 wagon. Oh, sorry. No, I don't have any of those. Sorry. So I can't check to see if they'll fit the AMT kits, but it definitely won't fit the 66 Malibu flip nose kit. That's 24th scale. It may fit on the 66 wagon and El Camino. I do have those, so I'll dig them out and take a look and see how well they fit. I know Wild has designed them specifically to fit the Lindbergh kit, but we'll see how much tweaking would be necessary to make them fit on the Revell versions. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this little review. I'll have a link directly to these products on Wild's website if you want to take a look, and then take a look at other stuff that he has to offer. And if you see something you like, you might want to go pick it up. He's got some really cool stuff. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you around next time here on The Sprue.